Smell, of course, can be used to detect and localize smells over very, very long distances, but particularly because the wind's got to be in the right direction, hasn't it? I mean, it's a slight problem with long distance communication with smell. And so really it comes into its own as we see the video of the bloodhound down here following human footsteps when it's actually applied at short distances in odour trails. And because these animals are remarkable of being able to follow odour trails even left many days before. But what must it be like for a dog? I wish I could sort of give you a picture, but I hope if you understand really how the smell system works, you start to get an idea. And the first thing is that because we are not really aware of smells most of the time. It's only when they're quite strong that suddenly you think, hey, well, it smells something, or you go into a new environment. For a dog, on the other hand, it must be like being constantly bombarded with change in your smell system. So it's going to be what you're going to be, the dog's going to be aware of almost all the time, whereas we're only aware of it very infrequently. The other thing is that when they're actually smelling things, this is linked to the emotional parts of their brain, so it's going to be sort of like a constant series of pleasure almost, or for that matter, something they don't like, but for the most part, pleasure. And this clearly will motivate them to continue to follow, even trace odours, and it must be something that is really a very pleasurable experience for them because of the nature of the way the olfactory system is actually evolved in the brain. The other thing, of course, that it can do is it's so sensitive that every time that we experience emotion, that adrenaline changes, or if our immune systems are functioning because we're not well, this causes changes in really 7 or so different chemical groups in our bodies, which, okay, we've had difficulty picking up, but I'm sure dogs don't have any. And this is why they will be able to detect quite easily just the biochemical changes in our bodies that are occurring as a result of fear or even pleasure, or, for example, changes in hormones, or, of course, disease. And it doesn't sort of, perhaps I should say that in the past, doctors actually used to use smell as part of their diagnostic kit. Not anymore, I hasten to say. You take a blood sample or a urine sample and you whap it off to the analytical lab to actually measure the chemicals. But in fact, we still have a very sensitive sense of smell, and it can be used to detect diseases, for example, as well as emotional states, which is why there's a huge amount of interest in the development of electronic noses based on what we know about the functioning of biological smell systems, and they're very effective.